Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Spring has sprung, the cherry blossoms are blooming where I live, and I took inspiration to create these abstract cherry blossom nails accompanied by a gorgeous shimmering rose gold polish. If you'd like to see how, stay tuned. Starting off with my usual prep, I'll be taking pH Bond by Gelish and applying that near my cuticle where I have some natural nail exposure. Following that, I'll go in with a bonder by ASP, applying that only to my natural nail. After that, I'll go in with the matching base coat, applying a thin layer to all 5 of my fingers. Then I'll cure under my LED lamp for 45 seconds. To get rid of the sticky inhibition layer, I'm taking a cotton ball and 70% isopropyl alcohol and just cleansing the nail. Once our nails aren't tacky anymore, we're ready to get started on our cherry blossom design. For the base on my feature nail, I'm taking Pink Whisper by ASP and applying that on my index finger. I love this beautiful pink sheer polish, but for this design I wanted more of an opaque background, so I went in with my first coat, which was a little bit streaky, and then I went in with a second one just to perfect that, to make sure that you couldn't see through the free edge of my nails since they are so long, and to avoid any streaks that may have been there from the first layer. And before we get started on our design, I'm just taking Top It Off by Gelish and sealing that base color and curing for 45 seconds. Today I'm using a small piece of tinfoil as my palette, and the first color I'm going to be applying here is Lift the Veil by Aurora Gel Effects, and this color is just slightly darker than that base I applied on my index finger. So I'm taking a generous helping of that, and then I'm taking a bright pink. This one's by OPI, All About Me, and that I'll be marbling with this lighter pink to create a natural watercolor type cherry blossom. Next I'm taking White Tips, also by Orly. This is going to be the highlight for each of the cherry blossoms. After I've marbled those two pinks, that'll go on top. Next I'm taking the color I'll be using for my other fingers, Last Call, and I'm going to use that as my branches. It appears brown here, but in real natural light it does shine rose gold. For the branches, I'll be using my favorite brush by Twinkle Tea number 00, a bit of a stipper brush, not too small, not too big, not too long. And then for the cherry blossoms, I'll be using the small end of my dotting tool. Firstly, I'll be applying the branches with that rose gold color. I'm doing that because once we put those cherry blossom polka dots all over the nail, it's going to look more realistic because that part will be covered up, so it'll actually look a little bit 3D. When painting the branches, I found it easiest to have a little blob of polish at the end of the brush so that the brush wouldn't tug on the nail and the branches came out more smooth looking. Here I'm just trying to add as many branches as possible, branches leading off of branches, because the more of that you have, the more filled up your nail will be and the more cherry blossoms you can put on. It's going to look a lot more realistic with as many connecting branches as possible. So I thought I was happy there and I popped it in my LED light to cure, but you'll see I took it out and I decided to add a few more little branches coming off of those ones, and I was happier with that result. I was able to get a few more cherry blossoms coming off, and I do think it looked a little bit more realistic. So if you've got open space, try add as many branches as possible. It may look a little silly now, but once you put those cherry blossoms off, it's going to look magnificent. I played around with a few different techniques, however I found this one gave the best results. I just took a few dots of the darker pink and swirled it into that lighter pink, and when you apply it, it's almost like a marbled effect. So it's more organic looking, you don't have strict polka dots that make it seem a little funky looking. This is more of a watercolor abstract cherry blossom, which I personally prefer. But if you wanted to go ahead and just apply dots, you could do the darker pink in the middle with the lighter pink on the edges and then just one white dot in the middle. However, I like the marbled effect, so I did that on the branches, and then I also did that in free space. You can imagine maybe these cherry blossoms, it's windy outside and they're blowing all over the place. So once I had filled the entire nail and I was happy with that, I cured it, and then I'm going to be taking the white, very little of it. You'll see I wipe it off a little bit actually as well, and I'll be applying that as the highlight in the center of a few of them. I also applied a few really tiny dots of white onto the branches directly. I did this to make it seem like there were some new flowers budding on the branches. Lastly, I'm going in with my No Wipe Top Coat from Lush Nails and applying that over the entire design, curing that for 45 seconds under my LED light, and our feature nail is done. So as I had said before, I'm going in with that gorgeous rose gold color and I am applying 2 coats here. And with this color or any kind of polish like this that's highly pigmented with those shimmers, try going very straight lines because you can see the streaks. I'm then going in with that exact same top coat I used for our feature nail, applying that over the entire set, and we are all done. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun doing it and being inspired by the beautiful cherry blossoms that bloomed down my street this week. If you'd like to see more of my work, please follow me on my social media, and if you recreate, please tag me. I'd love to see your work. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.